All right, looks like we're live. It's Monday morning, October 18th. Thank you everyone who's joining us already this morning. Looks like we got quite a few in here. Michael, what's up? Good morning. First comment this morning. Got up early. Solstice, good morning. Sly Dev, happy Monday. Skip C. Louie, what's up? Scotty's got up early this morning. Well, I know you're always up, Scotty. Just sometimes you're not in here when we start. But good morning, Scotty. Hope you enjoyed your trip. Michelle, good morning. Let's see here. Big Nate, happy Monday all. 6'8 Spin Drift. Sir Lucky Charms. Pete. Kimster, what's up? All right. So, yeah, another week. Clove was kind of disappointing on the week. Really was. I mean, it started off great, and Friday just kind of, we got this price action here that kind of took away all the gains of the week. If we go over here on the daily view and look at it, that was the previous Friday. Monday looked a little promising, and then we kept kind of having these little tiny green days. Thursday we even popped up and hit above 850, and then just like I said, gave it all back. I think it finished up 2 pennies on the week. So hoping we'll see some more positive action. I mean, if you look at, even though it wasn't big gains, these were all gains every day, right? But anytime you have a run of this many green days, you would expect a red day. It just sucks to see it give back most of it on that one red day, Still up over the course of 2 weeks, but I would imagine that it'll continue, continue green and start moving up now. We'll just have to see how that goes and let it play out. Wabistics, what's up? Dennis D. Michael says typical morning bullshit. Yeah. All right. So before we get into stocks, I was looking at reason it took me so long to get on here. I was just checking to see what was up with the survivor pool. And looks like we're down to 14 now. We got a couple people or 3 people got eliminated this week. Dolphins, Patriots, and Broncos. So there's 14 of us left. If we take a look at the leaderboard here, we got still some undefeateds. Myself and Spectrum, Papa Clove, Shrimply, Very Disturbed, and Dan. I'm pretty sure that's Dan right there. And then a couple that got some mulligans. But see Ago in there, Narwhal. Scotty's still alive. Joseph Scott's alive. Wallace, Teasy. So that's it. After that, these are all people. These are the 3 eliminated. Diamond Girl, Dominate, and Michelle got eliminated this week. But yeah, so we're still rolling. 14 of us left in the survivor pool. And it popped me up. I've never even done it. I don't know how it would work, but it gave me the opportunity to do an NBA one. I don't know if anybody's interested in that, just to have some fun. It popped up this morning when I signed in and asked if I wanted to start an NBA survivor pool. So I don't know if you guys are interested in doing it just for just for fun. I'll throw one together. Yeah, Michelle, I saw that you got out with the Dolphins. No, the Broncos. I would have thought. I mean, I know I chose the Raiders in last Monday night on the show with Ghost. I chose the Raiders to win this week. But that was before kind of all the drama with Gruden had really come out, and now looking back, I definitely probably would have picked the Broncos too. Just seeing the Raiders fall 2 games and everything going on, and I probably would have went with the Broncos as well. Um, but yeah, that was hey, the Raiders came out ready to play. Al, what's up? Put me in, coach. I'm ready to trade. I love it. Cuckoo Bird, what's going on? Josh Stewart, what's up? What's up, Casey King? What's going on? Good morning. Happy Monday. Have fun at school today. Present Minds, what's up? Good morning. Good morning. He says, good morning, coach, and good morning, Clove family. Yeah, Scotty. So me and Ghost, we're doing the NFL show again tonight, every Monday. Um, it's 4 o'clock on the West Coast, 7 o'clock on the East Coast. And tonight's Monday night game should be pretty good too. Um, these are two teams that I picked to win their divisions, the Bills and the Titans, and they've both been playing really good. Titans 3-2, Bills 4-1. Um, I also have Derrick Henry. I need him to go crazy for my fantasy. I don't know if he will against the Bills though. I don't know. But yeah, so anyone who's not familiar, we do Ghost and I do a show every Monday night. It's on this YouTube channel. We talk stocks, kind of review what's going on, what went on to start off the week in the stock market. Talk about plays we might be interested in jumping into, or what our projections are for the week on specific stocks. And then the second half of the show, we talk football, talk NFL. So yeah, that'll still be happening tonight. Um, Webistic says, what will happen first? Lions win a game or Clove to 10? Are the Lions still the only I know the Jaguars just won. Are the Lions still the only defeated team? I think. Let's see. I haven't even checked out the standings in a while, but um yeah, they are. The only team with 0 losses. Man, that's the one that I think I not even think that I know I got wrong for sure was at the beginning of the year on that show with Ghost. We picked who we thought was going to win each division, and you know at the time, um, I was kind of down on the Packers, and I thought all the offseason stuff that happened with Aaron Rodgers, and him wanting to be traded and everything else. I was like, you know what, I'm going to pick someone else to win that division. And just evaluating it, I said, I kind of like, actually, no, I'm sorry. I picked the Vikings first. Um, and then I think the Vikings ended up 0-1. Packers were 0-1. And the Lions looked pretty good against the Niners. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just go with the Lions to win this division instead. I like Golf over there, and I think maybe they'll be able to turn it around. Boy, was I wrong. Um, I think the Packers are going to run away with that one now. And the one that I kind of pegged, though, that was the Chargers with the West. Obviously, still early, only 6 games in, but I remember a lot of people thought I was crazy for picking that one. Um, I still think Kansas City's a great team, and they'll probably come back and give them a run for their money. And the Raiders too. That's really looking like a tough division right now. But anyways, let's get to some stocks. Andy Smith, what's up? Good morning. Turts, what about that Hut Friday? Saw Outrage's posted shares available was really high. I think they were flipping. Saw $10 strikes are high. Let me check it out. I did. Yeah, we might as well talk about Friday right now. Those were ones I know Hut started ripping. I didn't trade it all on Friday. Well, in terms of day trade, I had a couple plays that I grabbed and just set alerts on. Um, I know Hut was one that we said we were gonna watch. It looks like it really ripped. From 11 all the way up to close of 1227, hit a high of 1245. And let me pull this up real quick. I know we were talking about Max Payne on Friday too. At Max Payne's is at $10 for this week. Hut's currently trading at 12. Um, see if I could pull this up. There we go. And let's see. I can't pull that up right now. It's not working. But yeah, Hut's above Max Payne, and that's one of the things that I've been looking at least. The other mining play was ANY. Um, Kind of the same thing we were watching on Friday, and it had a nice rip off the open and then kind of just traded sideways and eventually down. So Hut was definitely, and see, like I said, I was going to be busy on Friday, and so I wasn't trading. And Any's one that I grabbed and um, didn't turn out as well. I wish I would have went with Hut, but Max Payne on ANY is a 6, so they're both trading above Max Payne right now on the week. So both looking pretty strong. I know Bitcoin. I think yesterday when I checked, hit as high as like 62,000. So it looked like it was still ripping. I don't know what it did overnight. Let me see if I can get that up real quick. But unless anyone knows in the chat where Bitcoin's at right now, um, let's see here. Looks like it's at what 60,000. 979, so almost 61,000. So yeah, I think these miners are going to continue to keep ripping as long as Bitcoin's going up. I think we're going to see the mining plays kind of popping a little bit too. So what I was checking out, because I see you said there's shares available, is really high. Um, Unless you're talking about Clove there, because I don't remember Hut being any sort of a squeeze play. All right. All right, yeah, thank you, Cuckoo Bird. That's what I just found too. So yeah, so Hut and ANY were two that I had on the watch list on Friday. I mean, if you were gonna trade either one of them, really, we just saw Hut and then ANY gave a couple opportunities if you were playing this 50 crossover. Um, but really, Hut would have been the big play. The other four from Friday that we kind of pulled up. Okay, yeah, Turks. That's what I thought. I was like, man, what's he talking about with the shares available? So yeah, we'll go to Clove in 1 second. But yeah, um, I was trying to pull up Ortex stat, and I'm like, nah, it doesn't really look like a squeeze play or like anything. There's only 9 million shares on loan. Talking Hut now. Um, but then the other plays from Friday, real quick. So NXRP. I don't know why I kept saying that wrong. NRXP was one. And I did pull this up at work a couple times just to see if there was any entry points, and I missed them. I was looking way back here, but it looks like it gave a couple over here. Some nice movement. I think that's what, like 11 popped up to 1150. Here we had like 1080 popped up to 1114, so not bad. Um, and shit, actually, I'm way off. I'm looking at Friday's list that we had. Sorry, guys. I'm Still waking up this morning. So BBIG. It's been a long weekend too. So BBIG was one. The list from Friday was BBIG, ANY, SNOA, LMFA, TMC, and then HUT. All right. So BBIG crossed over early on in the day, ripped up for $1. I was thinking this was going to be a gamma squeeze play and just continue to run. And then they ended up pinning this thing down the rest of the day. I mean, every time it started to get on a run, I mean, it would have been a good day trade. I know Ghost said he day traded this a lot on Friday and made some nice gains, but it looks like every time it got a nice rip, they started pushing it back down. No gamma squeeze there. However, I was looking at the option chain for this week, and it looks decent. Again, it's still trading above max pain. So I do think that with BBIG this week, out of all the squeeze plays right now, it looks probably the most intriguing. I mean, even if you look back, it's got all the way to the $5 strike is where it starts to become in the money. So it's well over max pain. There are some puts higher, deep in here at 650. But then right here around $7 is where it's all calls over puts, and some decent open interest here on the option chain. Not bad for a float that's like 80 million. So this isn't like as crazy as last week, but it still has a nice setup to ramp this thing up at least to like $10 if it continues to gain. Who knows with the volume coming in this week? So not a bad week on BBIG. I was just expecting with the way the option chain looked and because it was already above max pain, I was expecting it to continue to go up. One thing, that I'll say, like with BBIG right now, it's trading above max pain, right? And open interest is extremely high on that one. So it starts to get into that zone of like, where if they start pinning it down there, they're going to keep it there, and probably make this stock trade sideways for a while. But if we look at the Ortex data on that, cost to borrow still relatively high. Utilization's at 99. Not as high of estimated short interest, but it does have the open interest. It is trading above max pain. So I think BBIG still has some room to run this week. The other one was ANY we just looked at. HUT we just looked at. Some of the other ones that came up on the scanner was SNOA. Nothing really going there. That one was just trading downwards all day pretty much. Didn't really give too many opportunities. The other one from Friday, LMFA, I believe. That one had a nice pop off the open, and then maybe a couple other pops in here throughout the day. Again, I wasn't trading much. On Friday I was just pretty much watching BBIG and ANY while I was sitting at work. And then the other one that we talked about on Friday was TMC. It started popping early early on during the show, hit 419, put it on the watch list. If you were playing this one, there was a little bit of a move there, but not really. Other than that, I think that's about it in terms of what I was watching last week and what we talked about here on the show on Friday. In terms of this morning, stocks that popped up on the scanner so far, and it looks like I started watching around like 4 a.m. just to see what would pop up, and it looks like right now it's the same three that I got earlier. So OYST, one that I'll be watching today, and I'll probably be able to do a little bit more trading this morning too. So I'm kind of excited about that. But OYST popped up from 1360, hit 1628, and looks like it's getting a ton of volume coming in. Like if we look at the daily chart here, this has been trading recently at, even these high volume days we're looking at here is what, 500,000, 600,000, 550. Right now, this stock already has traded 1.5 million this morning. So it's getting a ton of volume coming in. If we zoom out, right now it's looking to open up somewhere around 1525, right around here. You know, we do have a previous high of 25.89 on the year. I think this one might have some room to run a little bit. Again, though, when I'm watching, I just want to make sure and reiterate this for anyone who's watching right now for the first time or anything. These stocks that I'm talking about are for day trading, not for. I'm not saying jump in and buy a bunch of these shares right now. This thing's gonna run. This has a lot of room to the downside, but it also can find some room upwards too. So all we're looking at is this one has increased volume with a gap down. I mean, it's gapping up, but it has the potential to start moving back down early on, and then we could find some opportunities to swing it back up later on in the day, or if it starts to break early, jump in and ride it up. So OYST is the first one that popped up. It's got a 24 million float. The next one was HX. This one again popped up this morning. This line right here represents coming into today from like around 594 up to 841. It's already trading back down. Volume wise, again looking at a daily chart, looks like this thing's already been ripping. Wow. Most recently 4.6 million volume on Friday, 700,000, 3.6 million. So just looking at, the average volume, and right now this one's traded already 1.4 million. So again, looks like that's an all-time high of 650, and right now it looks like it's trading right at 650. So when you get to these ones where they're hitting their all-time high and trading above it, I mean, if this one breaks out, you might be able to see this one run, up to this 841. But it also has a lot of room to the downside too. So again, this is one where we're just going to be looking for entry points, based on the stuff that we've been talking about on here. My favorite, and I think the easiest for new traders, is looking for this breakout above the 50. Or sometimes I'll play these 920 EMA crossovers like you see here. But usually I like to play these when we're trading above the 50. 50's been going downwards right now. I like to play, breakouts, especially like opening range breakouts. But I'm looking for stuff like that to jump in, okay? And I think this one provides some nice opportunities this morning. And then the only other one that popped up on my scanner was FCell. Oh, I should mention HX has a 10 million float. FCell's the other one. And FCell's been one that, I mean, I remember even trading last year, 2 years ago. This one seems like it always, when it starts moving, it can get some legs. So, looking at the daily chart on this one, it's kind of been swinging up. It's had some good momentum over the last week, crossed over on the MACD. Looks like it's got some resistance here at 787, right in that area. And right now it's looking to open up somewhere around there, like 784, 786. Let's zoom out a little bit more though. Yeah, if it can break past this resistance today or even open above it, we might be able to see this one. No major resistance I could see here, at least until about 1254. Just looking maybe 1074. Looks like a pretty decent level too. But so this is another one. If we look at daily volume recently, 46 million, 39 million, 29 million, and this is a much larger float, 353 million float. So but this stock gives some decent range too. Like even considering that float size, you look at the last couple of days, 688 to 745, you know, 714 to 785, and even, any of these days back here, it gives some pretty decent ranges, which is what you would want when you're trying to jump in and out of some stocks. So F sells the last one, at least for right now, that's popped up on my scanner. Much larger float on that one though. All right, so I think, yeah, I already put F cell down here earlier, but yeah, those are the ones I'll be watching. Um, Joseph Scott, what's up? We went over the pool earlier. I saw you're still alive with one mulligan used. But yeah, I saw. Oh, actually, no, Joseph. I don't know. Did you put your pick in? That's what I remembered. Sorry, I said we're done with football, but I just saw you came in. No pick this week. So that means you either already picked this game or you're gonna be like I was a couple weeks ago and be forced to pick this game tonight. Um, VN, what's up? Good morning. Can you put some color on Amazon? Let's see. So it looks like, I know it ripped on Friday. What's the daily chart look like on this? Damn. I usually don't trade Amazon at all or even like follow it too much for that matter, just because it's so damn expensive. You know, to get in and out of. The only time I ever really have like kind of traded Amazon is usually with you know, kind of like on Fridays by grabbing a dip or something like that, like buying out of the money calls. Something that, because a lot of times when you got like 0 days to expiration, you can jump in and if you get an early morning dip, you can go in and grab some, maybe a dollar or two out of the money for dirt cheap, and then make some real money when it starts to pop. I didn't even pay attention to what happened on Friday, but for instance, with the way Amazon moves, um, and I didn't play this, but these are the type of plays that I've made like on Amazon in the past. Um, let's see. So this is the weekly expiration. You see how expensive these options are. Um, even just to get this is expires in what, 4 days, and to get $5 out of the money, you're paying $4,300 for that contract. That's insane, right? But on a Friday morning, 0 days to expiration, sometimes you can, if you want to just take a shot, you'll start seeing contract pricing that's like this, like 80 cents or something, because it looks like it's going to expire worthless, right? So you can come in and go one or two strikes out of the money and pay dirt cheap. And then all of a sudden, if you get lucky and get a nice little run, and it doesn't even have to be a run that's this big, but just get a little bit of a run, Amazon moves because of the price, can move $5 really easily, and all of a sudden it'll put you in the money, and that's the way I like to play kind of these bigger movers is usually, like, let's say a stock like this dips on a Friday morning, come in and buy those 0 day expirations, one strike out of the money, and then if it rolls back and gets you in the money, you could profit pretty heavily like that. So other than that, I usually don't play with these that often. Okay, man, this is a tough game to pick too. Um, I mean, I don't want to influence your pick at all. I'm liking the Bills. I think they're the stronger team, but then Tennessee at home. If Derrick Henry gets rolling, um, that's a tough game to pick. Really is. Um, all right, let's see here. Where we at this morning? The other one that I'm going to be watching today. I just went over the three on kind of the day trade watch list. Obviously, I'm still going to be keeping an eye, I think, on BBIG and kind of some of the other ones we've been looking at. Um, ATER still has that. Pull that up real quick. I still think that ATER and SDC present like kind of the best short plays. High cost to borrow, high utilization. This is ATER right now. Um, Fairly high short interest. Problem is, again, what we were talking about last week was that whole Max Payne thing, right? Um, and Max Payne for this week with ATER is $10 still, so it's still trading below it, and it just kind of becomes one of those things where like now because we're pinned under Max Payne, I could see these stocks. We've seen this happen with so many stocks. Once it gets under there, we'll pull up a daily view here. There we go. It already had its pop. Now it's coming down where we could see this thing trade sideways for a month while they whittle away at the IV before they let it run again, because now they've kind of got it in control. Now that could change at any moment, but that's still one that I'm not going to be looking to enter now until I see it break above Max Payne. And the other one that I'm going to keep on my watch list, because again it can run at any minute, is SDC. So looking at this one, um, another high short interest play. 32%, way lower cost to borrow. So not as quite high as ATER. Right now it's trading at 550, and I believe Max Payne is 6. Yes. So another one that it's kind of like not there yet, but I'm just keeping it in the corner of my eye, right? I have them up here, and occasionally if I see one of these pop, you know, I'm waiting for them to break past Max Payne before I'll jump in long term. Still great for day trading. PROG, on the other hand, looks like I'm really intrigued by this one because, um, I talk about this all the time. I'm not really huge on the technicals, but this is definitely a little bit of a flag forming here. And if we can get some sort of breakout of this, I could see this popping up even higher. And it's got a lot of room to run to the upside, a lot more room to the upside looking at recent highs compared to recent lows. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's still a big fall, but there's a lot of room to kind of continue to pop up. And with PROG, Max Payne is 150, so it's already trading above it. And I'll pull up Ortex on that one before we start moving forward a little bit. Where are we at? 63% short interest, 69% cost to borrow, 99 utilization. So I think PROG is one that definitely keep on your watch list. And again, if you look here, kind of the same thing. It had this nice spike up, created this, this little bit of a flag here, popped above it, found a new high, kind of doing the same thing. And it looks like maybe it's ready to break out again. It's already trading above max pain. Um, IV's been increasing heavily, but it's still not that bad. 210% for this month. Okay, so which is now November 19th expiration. And the other thing I like about this play is, you know, um, because the options don't expire until November 19th, and they only do monthlies, you're going to see more concentration build up in the chain day by day. That IV is pretty high, but you'll probably still see people coming in here and buying these up, and continuing to build the chain up and allow for higher concentration. Whereas when you get weeklies, it starts to get spread out throughout. So I think PROG has the potential to be a runner, at some point this month, or continue its run, I should say. And it's been getting some pretty decent volume as well. Before we jump into Clove, two other plays that I'm going to be watching today. BKKT is VIH. Today's the first day as VIH. As BKKT. Started at 10:10 this morning, and already down to 9:40. It's not even popping up over here yet, but yeah. So if you were holding VIH, and it should be showing up on my Schwab right now. It hasn't popped over yet, but on my TD Ameritrade it has. So it should just automatically convert your shares over, or your options contracts or anything like that. I did hold. I know I said on Friday I was going to exit my VIH shares and just hold the call contracts, but I ended up holding. It came up and hit 951, down and hit 915, and then closed the day somewhere around 970. I'm just gonna see how this plays out today, but didn't follow my own advice. I talked about just exiting my shares on Friday, and then holding the call contracts just to kind of stay in the play to some degree. And I'm still holding both right now, so see what happens. So Ortex right now, I tried pulling up on this. Here we go. They don't have BKKT up yet, but if you look at VIH still, and I would imagine that these numbers will stay relatively the same. 41% short interest, 99 utilization, not really a high cost to borrow, but almost 43% of the free float on loan. See what happens there. All right. So, if you follow on the Discord, I think I put it out on the Discord and on the YouTube channel, on the community, that I finally jumped back into DraftKings. Okay. I did that on Friday. And I guess really before I even show DraftKings, I should show the SPY, because this is what I've been kind of basing a lot of my swing trades on, and why I exited most of my swing trades. So, looking at the daily chart here on the SPY, this scared me back in, at the beginning of September. We started seeing this gap down, all this other stuff. And I actually grabbed some SPY puts twice, made some money here, um, got stopped out on the other half, reloaded, made some money on the way down again, and then got stopped out on the rest. So not a huge profit on the second SPY put trade, but still decent. But then we saw gap up, followed by another gap up, and it continued to rip. And it's kind of looking like it's breaking out of this now. And I really like the entry point on DraftKings. I hope I'm not too premature here, but it does look like this maybe this little dip by the SPY may be over. I went back and was kind of let me remove all this crap real quick. There we go. Just looking in general, if we look back, I mean, we've seen some gaps in here. There's a gap all the way down to 336, 343. We kind of saw this same type of price action way down here before it started ripping last time. Now we'll look at a weekly view and kind of see the same thing. There's almost no gaps on the weekly view even here too. But it does look like it's starting to come out of here now. And so for me, when I was looking on Friday, I did get back in on my DraftKings play. So what I ended up doing was, let's pull up DraftKings now. It also looks like it's kind of consolidating, right? So the last time we entered, I got in down here, a nice run up to 65. And it looks like it's consolidating again, and I think it's going to get ready for its next run up. And I think now it's going to start really start moving into February. So the play for me for DraftKings, I went out to, I think it was December. I got to go in here and check now. Let me pull this up. I grabbed a couple different strikes. Let me see here. So I went with, I had to check my, I went with some December 55s, and then I went out to February 65s. And this is really the one that I feel the strongest about here. I mean, you're paying 127. This was actually at 0.22 when I grabbed it on Friday, so it went down a little bit, but still, I think coming up and hitting 65 there, IV's low across the board on DraftKings, and again, the play for me when I play these options is never really to execute and to exercise. I don't want to do that. I just want to get that momentum, right? So if all of a sudden this thing starts running up, and you can see how it starts moving when the momentum shifts, and even when it gets to this 65 mark, all of a sudden, those things are probably going to be worth about like 500% gain, something like that. And then I'll sell them and turn around and just buy maybe the 85 strike, same dollar amount. Okay, so let me bring that out and show you again. So right now I bought here $1.27. If we get that gain and we see DraftKings start trading in that $60 to $65 range, you'll probably see these contracts be worth about $7, maybe even higher because of IV increase. So then the play for me is sell those calls, take those 500% gains or whatever it may be, and then go out and buy probably the 85 strike, the $90 strike, somewhere in there, still way out here in February where I have the time. But at the time, these will probably be trading for about $1.50, somewhere in there. And I'm not throwing all my profits in. I'm going to take my profits. What I'm doing is throwing my initial investment, this $1.27, back in so that I can stay in the play for the long haul, because I think this is going to be a play that, kind of plays out until February. So this rolling of the calls could take place in November. It could take place in December. Who knows? It just depends how fast the stock starts moving. But then I'll just look to roll out my initial investment after taking profits. That's how it usually, I like it to play out on a lot of these plays. I never want to really hold this until February. Um, and if my intention is to hold until February, then I'll roll it out to April or roll it out to May so that I could end up cutting it in February. But that's usually how I'll play these swing trades with options. But yeah, I did enter back into DraftKings on Friday. All right, let's see here. So, Clove, where are we at? Present Mind says, where are we on Clove reported earnings? Or when are they? Oh, it looks like Joey answered you already. Yeah, so November 10th. So it's right around the corner. And I just seen Joey said it could change based on past earnings release. Yeah, I mean, it seems like the last couple earnings, the last two for sure, they've moved it ahead of projections. So, projections is November 10th. They move it up to like the Wednesday before is what they did last time. And in the previous earnings report from there, if my memory serves correctly, they moved it up to the Monday prior. So I don't have the exact dates in front of me, but it seems like they keep moving them up early. They went up to that first time, they went up to Monday in pre-market, and then more recently they moved it up to a Wednesday in after hours. So we'll probably begin to hear sometime soon, but it's going to be within the month, probably within the next 3 weeks or so. So anyways, looking at Clove here, I kind of mentioned at the beginning of the day, or the beginning of the stream, we just talked about how, Friday it started dumping off and basically gave back all the gains we had over the week, right? I mean, we started the week at about 787, got up to 858 very briefly on Thursday before coming back down. But even starting at 815, it was really starting to, all these green days in a row. Everything was looking good, and then we gave it pretty much all back, finishing a 2 cent gain on the week. So I don't know, kind of disappointing, but nothing's changed still for me. I mean, I would have expected a red day somewhere in here after all this green, even though these weren't major green days. They were, a little 3 cent gain, 6 cent gain, stuff like that. But I still would have expected a red day mixed in there. It just sucks to have it be one that gives back 4 days of gains. But anyways, other than that, just looking at Clove right now, one thing that did kind of pop out to me was now I was looking at this stuff earlier, but so Friday we saw 50% in the dark pool. This is nothing new. This is stuff we've been seeing. If we come down and look though, I mean, 50% is high. This has normally been like 40% in the dark pool, above 40, but not a lot of days with 50. October 8th was the only other one in the past month. So 50% traded in the dark pool. And then if we come down here, one of the higher days in short volume on Friday too. Not shocking again, considering how much the stock's been getting driven down. So 61% there. Haven't seen that again since back on like the 5th of October. We had a nice little run in here with above 60. Looks like from September 28th to October 5th. So yeah, high short volume, high dark pool volume. Stock goes down, but we've been seeing this for a while now. Um, but I do think that, again, I have high conviction in the stock. It's just a matter of time. It really is. I really think that, you know, and I've been saying this for a long time, but my opinion hasn't changed. It's only become stronger that this stock is worth way more than what it's trading at, and it has the ability to be a disruptor in the space. And none of that has changed, and all we've been seeing is positive news here. So again, I just want to reiterate that my conviction in this play has not changed. And it's one of those ones where I know I've talked about this before on here. Like, with me, usually if I'm in like a swing trade or something like that and it goes against me, I'm out. Right? I'll cut my loss, move on to the next play. And always have a stop loss, all that kind of stuff. But with this play, it just feels a little bit different because I really feel like this has the potential down the road to be a Tesla, be an Amazon, be something like that, because because of the Clover Assistant. This isn't an insurance play. This is a technology play that happens to sell insurance. That's the way I look at it. And so the way I see this manipulation that we've been seeing in the stock is, okay, it's giving us more of an opportunity to accumulate this thing. And one day we're going to look back and this is trading at $50 and say, man, remember when we uh couldn't seem to get out of that $8 range, for that summer of 2021, or something along those lines. um and then I plan on holding these for a long time. So um that being said, I have talked about that, if we do see any sort of squeeze or wild volatility with the pop, I'll probably exit and enter back in, because that's just how you know that's part of trading. But I plan on owning this stock, years from now, and seeing it kind of continue to grow. And I think years from now, you're going to be looking back, laughing when this stock's trading at $300 or somewhere in that range. And just, man, can you remember when Clove was trading under 100? That's just my thoughts, but that's more on the technology side, and who knows how long that's going to take to pan out. Um, but let's see here. Joey says, maybe can they cover FTDs in the dark pool of Clove? Yes. So if you have a failure to deliver, that means you need to buy back shares, right? And you could buy shares on the lit market or in the dark pool. So it's not a dumb question at all. I mean, it's different entities, right? So if I'm shorting the stock and I have an FTD, I have a failure to deliver, um, and I need to come up with these shares by a specific date, I can go into the dark pool and buy it. Granted, though, anytime you purchase in the dark pool, there needs to be a seller in the dark pool, right? Any transaction, whether it's on the open market or whatever, there needs to be a buyer and a seller. So if I need to go in and buy 1 million shares, um, and there is, I have two options. I got probably more than that, but either way, I could just go in and buy them, but that's going to make the price go up on the lit market. But or I can go into the dark pool and buy them. And um, essentially, what happens is, if there's not like actual shares, like a seller sitting in the dark pool waiting to offload some shares, then the market maker is going to sell me fake shares, to create liquidity. And now they're essentially taking on an FTD. So it's just transferring the liability from me to the market maker, or from market maker to market maker, or from fund to fund. And that's pretty much what you're seeing is they're just kind of kicking the can around and transferring that liability. I've made some videos about market manipulation. There's a playlist on my channel. It's Chalk Talks, but it's all about market manipulation, and I talked a little bit about that and also how they would accomplish that, or some of the things that I've seen being pointed out in other subs and places where basically um, because I guess the next question is like, well, who would, like, let's say you're the market maker, I'm the fund that's short and I need to get these shares back. Why would you sell me shares that you don't own and take on that FTD position? Well, I mean, it's twofold, right? Like, on one hand, maybe you're trying to prevent the stock from going up because it's got like the ability to gamma squeeze or something, which I don't think Clove's sitting in that position right now. But that would be an incentive for you to keep the stock down, or if it's got high IV. But then aside from that, typically what you'll see, or what the theory is that I would then go in and buy some like worthless options as a payment, okay, from you. So, couple ways to look at it. One, let's say I'd come over here and go, we would kind of make a deal, right? So I'll go over here and buy, I don't know, maybe some worthless puts right here at the $6 strike for December, and we both know that the stock's going to be trading above that. So I go in and buy these puts, and I'm basically giving you $39 per contract, and that's my payment. So I go in there and buy 1,000 of those, and basically I just gave you $39,000, and now you agree to sell me the shares that I need. Or let's say I go in here and buy this $6 strike options contract, and you're willing to sell it to me. I'm basically paying you $8.45 a share for a stock that's trading at $7.91, and I execute immediately. So now I just overpaid by 50 cents for those shares, got them immediately right now, put the shares in my pocket, and overpaid you 50 cents a piece. Why did I do that? Because it didn't make the stock go up. If I buy these options contracts and execute them, and you don't own the shares to back them up, all you're doing is creating an FTD, and you're giving me shares at an overpriced value, but we never made the stock price go up. And so that's another way of manipulating the stock that they do as well. I know I'm just kind of summarizing this right now, but if you go check out those videos, I kind of break it down a little bit more and explain kind of how some of that stuff takes place. Mike in DC, what's up? DJ Tardis, what's up? Oh, what's going on? Yeah, no, he said, to my surprise, talk about Clove being manipulated. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think, again, it's only a matter of time. This company, we've seen nothing but good news, positive outlook. The bear case has been diminishing in this stock for months now. And we're still trading sideways, right? But that can't happen forever. It really can't. At some point, I think shorts are going to flip long if they haven't already. And I think the more that Wall Street in general starts to see what this company is, and that it's not just an insurance company, but that might take some time too. So there's two sides to this, and I know we've talked about this before, but we're talking about Clove again for anyone who maybe entering late. I think most people, investors, maybe institutional investors, or I mean, there has been institutions buying up Clove too. So anyways, there's going to be some investors who are going to evaluate Clove specifically as an insurance company, a health insurance company, because that's what they are. And if you evaluate Clove as a health insurance company, sure, they just got the 3.5 star, which is going to help. But as a standalone insurance company, they're not profitable right now. Okay. Um, Revenue's been increasing, which is great. Lives under management has been increasing, which is great. They're on track to be profitable, but they're not profitable right now. So, um, that's reality. And so when you look at that, I can see where someone who doesn't believe in the technology side has a bear thesis on this. I mean, I think it would be pretty dumb to still be shorting the stock, though, considering that the revenue continues to increase and their lives under management are, they're expanding and everything, all the other news. Like I said, it's only been positive news. And if you look back, every single earnings report, earnings has been increasing. So, or revenue's been increasing. So it's like, and their guidance has been getting better. So, I can't understand why someone would still be shorting the stock, but whatever, that's on them. But anyways, as a health insurance company, they're not profitable yet. Okay. Um, I think that's going to change sooner than the company itself even imagines, just with the way they're growing and the DCE contracts that they have, and then also you got some of the major players in here have been getting in trouble for fraud and other things. And I think with the 3.5 star rating, that's going to invite more lives under management. Open enrollment just opened last month, or last week, I should say, on Friday, and it's running through the first of the year. Um, so the health insurance company is looking out, has good outlook, but it's not profitable yet. That was my first point. I know I'm getting off track now. But then you have this technology side where they're building this AI that has the potential to be a disruptor in the entire medical industry. I think, especially in the way patients are being cared for. And it doesn't have to be just for Medicare. At some point they could roll this out internally if they want to start insuring other patients. But I really see this as, like I've said before, like an Amazon type play with their AWS. Like if all of a sudden they take this Clover Assistant and start leasing it to their competitors, like Amazon does with AWS, it's just going to make the AI grow, right? And it's just going to make that's where it becomes a disruptor. And that's where that will help Clove, the health insurance company. But Clove's not going to be dependent on health insurance at that point, I don't think, to thrive and to grow. That's when they really become a tech company. So my point is, and I know I've been rambling for a while now, two things. One, we need the health insurance side to continue to grow and show increase in revenue or become profitable for Wall Street to really buy into this stock. Or two, we need them to do something on the tech side showing that they're going to start utilizing the tech outside of Clove, leasing it to other people, doing something like some sort of step in that direction to get Wall Street to buy in. Either one of those, I think, will get this stock really moving. Other than that, an analyst upgrade. Again, we have earnings. We have increased guidance potentially. Who knows? Maybe revenue increases right now and in this next earnings report, and all of a sudden they come out and say with their guidance that they think they'll be profitable by the end of Q4. I mean, I have no idea. That would be like a really, really great case scenario, but anything like that, there's so many possibilities that could change, that at any moment, we could still see some analysts price target increases right now based off the 3.5 star rating from a couple weeks ago. So there's really exciting times right now, especially with earnings, coming up in the next 3 weeks. Danny did it. What about PROG? I talked about PROG a little while ago, and actually, I'm glad you said that because it just started moving. But I really think PROG it's trading above max pain. I'll give you the quick, brief rundown of what I said. It's trading above max pain. Um, Ortex data looks insane. If you look at this, I mean, it's kind of up. It's got these little flags going, and it's looking like it's ready for a breakout. That's my really really quick breakdown on Prog. I like it. There's less room to the downside than there is to the upside up here. If all of a sudden this thing really started ripping, and yeah, I like Prog. I think it's showing the most promise right now, probably out of all these, as just a pure squeeze play. Oh, I didn't even realize what time it was. Let me see what's going on here. Genetic Nate, what's up? Good morning. Let's see here. Stock Hunter says NXTD. I have not looked at it. Mike says check the Ortex on Prog too. I know I pulled it up a little while ago, but I'll pull it up for you guys again since you can't come in on time. I'm only joking. Let me see. So right here. There we go. So yeah, like I was saying, this one's probably the most promising from a standpoint of high short interest, probably the highest out of all the ones we looked up today. Cost to borrow isn't the highest, but 69 is still extremely high. 99.88 utilization, again, high. 68% of the free float on loan, high. It's got all the short interest that you would want, right? And then on top of that, it's trading above max pain, which that could change at any minute. If it gets pinned back down, all of a sudden, you'd be now I would say get out and wait, but nah, it's Prog looks pretty promising right now. It really does. If we pull up the options chain on it real quick, this is 128 million float stock. And the other thing that I mentioned real quick, then give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready to, and then I'll okay. We also got a guest in today. It's Friday, but let me go to this options chain real quick. So the other thing I like about it is that there's only monthlies. So that means it's not going to be spread out week by week. So we have basically within the next month this option chain to get even more loaded up to kind of give us like that gamma squeeze potential. But as you can see, we're already throughout the entire chain, other than the 50-cent strike, everything is more calls outweighing puts. So no, I definitely like what Prog's looking like right now. But it is Monday, and where is my? There we go. We got a guest coming on. Here we go. What's up, man? Can you hear me?
I hear you great. What's up, Coach?
What's
How
going
y'all feeling?
on? So Ghost is
You
in.
saw them boys.
What's that?
You saw them Steelers.
Oh
Probably
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
nastiest game I've ever seen in my life. Most discouraging victory we've ever experienced in
That was
prime time
crazy,
in front of the
man.
world. But Watt, man, highest paid player for a reason, man. My guy's nasty, bro.
Dude, he I mean, obviously it's a team game and they played a whole game and everything else, but I kind of want to say like he in more ways than one, like he won that game for him. You know what I mean? I mean, not even just that fumble at the end, but like that huge sack. There was just so many plays that he made throughout the game, especially going down to the wire there at the end. That it just that was a great game though. It was a fun game to watch. It's just I'm tired of these damn primetime games, man. I mean, they keep going down to the wire. They keep going into overtime. They keep keeping me up late at
You
night.
almost guaranteed if you take the points, you're gonna be all right because they make them close, man. I swear. No, man. Troy Polamalu back in the day was like this for me, where as a Steeler fan, I felt like if you put a camera on Troy Polamalu's head, you would not miss a play. And then you look at Watt, and it's like he's dropping back in coverage. He's blocking on 3rd and 4. He's getting blocks from the, quarterback's throwing it. He's doing pass deflections at the line of scrimmage as he's getting blocked by 2. Like you said, the sack in OT, then the next possession is sack fumble in OT. I mean, the guy definitely is a game changer, and it's good to have a baller like that on the team, man. It really is, man. I think he should have got Defensive Player of the Year last year, to be honest with you. Um, what's up, Michael D? What's up, Cuckoo? What's up, Genetic Nate? What's up, Web Statistics, man? I appreciate all you guys' present minds. Coach, man, I'm excited for today.
With what you talk? Oh, for this afternoon or Clove or what are we talking about? What are
I'm
you excited?
excited for. I'm excited to start seeing some price action on Clove first
Okay.
because I didn't catch too much of the beginning. I just heard a little bit of the tail end of a couple things to be excited for. You know, Al Trades pulled up some of the available, shares available, and they just steady increase right now. And I think, to be honest with you, that's probably the most encouraging sign that I could see, because when you start to get to a point where the amount to borrow starts increasing, and it kind of just shows you that there some players are backing off, right? Some players are backing off. Who those players are, nobody will know yet. But the truth is the more shares available on float, more shares available regarding the float, the less I feel like pinning below max pain comes into play. The less rhyme or reason it comes. You know what I mean? It's like, well, what's the point of continuing to make money suppressing the stock if you're not shorting it anymore? And so I think that could be a real good catalyst, or not a catalyst, but a sign that the reversal is legitimately here. You got earnings coming. They have to understand that it's going to start to squeeze towards earnings. Not squeeze, but it's going to start to increase by earnings. Almost every stock gets a run up before their earnings. This is an anticipated earnings. They had the star upgrade. I just feel genuinely like a lot of people are kind of in the position where they're like, all right, let's start to ease out. We've made the money. It doesn't seem like it's going to go, much past 7 if we can get it that low again. What's the point of being here? And I'm hoping that's what we're seeing. You know what I mean? I'm hoping, at least.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I want to answer this question real quick from Thomas. Says, why would Green Oaks or Bailey lend their shares out at under 1% APR, knowing it's going to have massive implications on price? I think that long term shareholders, right? Like I'm talking these big institutions, and I've talked about this before. Like I don't know what their entire portfolio looks like, but a lot of these places, because I've heard this question even with other stocks, if Clove is only 2% of your portfolio, it sounds massive to us, right? Like shit, they own 74 million shares or whatever. I think they're at 50 million now. But if that's like a small percentage of their portfolio, they don't care about this day to day price action. They really don't. So for them, it's a way of, think about it. If they can earn 1%, APR, and then all of a sudden it goes up to 3% because it fluctuates too, right? So they're earning they're that's just eating away at their cost, and really that's what they're looking to do is get their cost basis down and continue to and they do the same thing with options, right? You sell covered calls against your shares, and you sell, and you do that, and eventually it gets down to a point where your shares are free. And somebody like Green Oaks, who's in this for, like, I would imagine, they're going to be in for the long haul. Like 5 years from now, they're still going to be a major owner of this. 10 years from now. And so if all of a sudden 10 years from now this stock's trading at, I'll just throw out a random ass number, $500 a share, they're going to look back. They don't give a shit that it was, at $8 in 2021. You know what I mean? And that's what I think. I think that's just an institutional thing. They'll lend their shares out, they get a return on it. And you figure if they do that across their entire portfolio, how much money are they? They're making a shit ton of income. You know what I mean? On those shares, on all the shares, on their entire portfolio.
I also think they believe in the company. So it's like, to convert from Class B to Class A, you do lose a lot of your voting power. But if you really genuinely believe the company's ran correctly, you're not too concerned with what that voting power could potentially be. So I think that's another thing that they're like, you know what, let's take advantage of that interest rate. Like you said, it fluctuates. We've seen that thing high as shit before.
Yeah.
So, and not for nothing, I mean, to trim out of a position, even if it's a small percentage, um, institutions do this. They convert from B to A. They're looking for some extreme movement, and the movement occurs, and then they might trim, a couple million shares. It makes sense for them because, like you said, ultimately they're going to be having shares for free. if they're collecting enough interest and shaving enough.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Trying to think of see if there was any other questions on here, man. I don't think there was. I'm just looking through.
So I'm seeing a lot of action on FCell, man. Like
Yeah,
possible.
is there news behind that, or you're just looking at
Yeah, I
that's
mean, so I was in FCell a while ago. Like wrote it from like 8 to like 25 type shit. But the thing with FCell that's happening right now, I think, is more or less the infrastructure bill, and they would get it would benefit them in a lot of different ways, in the long haul and the short haul. So I think that's ultimately what the return to fame is, I guess you can say.
okay?
But you just look at the fin twit right now, and there's a lot of people pumping it as well.
All right, yeah. No, this is just one that like I've never even shit. I don't even know what FCell does, but I've
It's like
just
a hydro battery, corporation type of thing.
yeah. I mean, I just remember even like I was saying earlier, like I think even like 3 years ago or 2 years ago, trading FCell. Like it's one that I've. It seems like it's always popping up on scanners. You know what I mean? And going back, I remember trading this one. I think it started catching some volume in like 2020,
Yeah.
2021, and it's always got some good moves. And it came up on my scanner again today, and it was like, oh, okay, F cell.
Yeah.
Let's look at this one. So, so
I
the pre,
noticed I noticed whenever you guys got scanners I hit, and then my scanners hit, and then plus it's on Yahoo Finance trending. I noticed when that happens, man, you get a lot of price action, a lot, because it's not just your scanner, it's not just my scanner, it's not just his scanner, it's not just her scanner. It's now Yahoo Finance's built-in trending tickers, and you just got a lot of exposure. And then you throw in the FinTwit community, and you got hundreds of thousands of people that follow people that all you see is F cell here, F cell there. So it looks like for me, it's going to be a nice little tradable day trade action that we can get on it for sure.
hell yeah. I might be able to trade a little bit today too. I was. It's like, it's too hard, man, at work and doing everything else. So like, sometimes I'll catch an opportunity. Let's say I got lunch, or, I'm on my prep period or something like that, and I'm sitting there and I got some time. But then I don't want to force nothing. So then I'll pull it up and see what's out. And if there's no plays during that time, there's no plays. So like, I didn't trade anything like that on Friday. But today I
Friday
should have a
was
little bit extra time.
Friday was a trippy day, man. It was a battle for me. I was like a little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit up, and then I hit one trade towards the PM too, and it just ripped. It just ripped hard. So, sometimes it's like that. I think one of the biggest things in day trading for me that I'm still trying to figure out is over trading and forcing. I'm creating my support, I'm creating my resistance, I'm finding the right times to get in as far as chart wise, but volume's not there. And I think
Yeah.
towards after a couple hours in the AM, that volume starts to chase. And what I've noticed is like it's bouncing from one stock to another, and you got to somehow know where that stock is that it is, because you'll leave one trade because it's flat for a while barcoding, and then you jump into this trade that's got momentum, and then all of a sudden you look back and the one that you just had just got some more volume out of nowhere and started taking off. So I think in the second half of the day for me, I'm going to pay attention more to the resistance and the support levels and just be patient with some of the day trades. And like you said, not force them, most importantly.
Yeah, usually it's like the first couple of hours of the day, but really, if you can get in and out of a stock and make some money within the first half hour to hour of the day, that's where it's like shit. You might as well take it easy and maybe come back for power hour. Something like that, or come back around for us like 11 a.m. because it just seems
Right.
volume just dies down right in the middle of the day. Not
Usually,
always though. Sometimes you get stocks that are like runners all day long and just popping, but that's far and few between to like find those. So yeah, man, if you could and then there's different trading strategies, right? So like early on in the day there's specific strategies you could use.
right.
Like breakouts and things like that. And then late, in the middle of the day when volume's not there, you're really looking for like, maybe something to just
Support and
bounce
resist.
within the range or yeah, exactly. So but nah man, it's definitely fun, man. But I think you hit it too with the over trading. It's like if you've already made a decent profit on the day, the best thing you could do is just walk away from the computer. because there's been
Yeah.
times where I've, you're already up, and then it's like you're kind of feeling that momentum, and you want to go in and do some more, and you want to go in and do some more, and you end up giving it back. Or let's say you had a bad day. Even then, I think it's good for people to have like a daily limit. Like, hey, if I lose X amount, I'm done for the day. I need to stop myself. You know what I mean? Because
Yes, I do.
if you're not feeling it and you're having a bad day trading, and you go two losers and it turns into three losers and then five losers, and you're just trying to force it, then 10 losers, you could blow your account up like that too.
Honestly, I realize like, so for me, my background is sales, right? So I came in the sales industry as a kid, bro, and there, there's ups and downs in sales, just that simple. So for me, I was always, when it was up, I was going so much harder than the next person because that momentum was so crazy that you could fuck around and make your whole week or make your whole month. I used to say you can make your whole week in one day, you can make your whole month in 1 week, and you can make your whole day in 1 hour, right? So for me, I would go so crazy and have such a productive day because the momentum was hot, whether the marketing behind it was hot, whatever it was just hot. No point in letting off the gas. And in this industry, it's different. It's almost opposite. It's like if you're sticking and moving and you have a successful stick, move on and just you could kick back at that point. But for me, I'm like, I get this one thing in my mind where I'm like, yo, no, it's hot right now. This is where I got to keep going. And it's like, nah, it's different from what I'm accustomed to, and that's one of the hardest things for me because it's like breaking habits and understanding the differences between these two industries. It's a big deal. It's a big difference. You know what I mean? It's a really big difference.
Hell yeah.
Chasing the
Ego.
dragon.
What's up, Ego? Says chasing the dragon, never a good thing. Absolutely. And
That's
then
fat.
Dan, real quick, 'cause I know you said you just came in, but Dan's actually one of the there's one, two, three, four, five, six of us that have not used a mulligan yet in the pool. Dan's one of them. Haven't lost yet.
I'm
Um,
so mad at myself.
you know who Dan's pick was this week though? I'll just pull it up for Ghost since he
I mean, I already know. It's got to be the Steelers.
there we go.
Got to be. It's got to be. I know you were hurting watching that shit go to OT. He was like, fuck. That was
Yeah,
crazy to me, man. That was crazy to me. I was just sitting there like, man, it's almost embarrassing when your team gets a win. And it's such a hard win for them. A win's a win. Don't get it twisted. But it's like, you're almost like kind of ashamed. Everyone's like, it's the Seahawks without Russell. And you're just like, no Carson. We did get the W. 3-3 headed into the bye week is huge for us, man. I'll be honest with you. That's huge because you look at the Browns lost again, one game back. We're technically 2 games back, and we still got 2 head-to-head matchups with the Ravens. So we control our own destiny after rubbing off 3 in a row. We
yeah.
control our own destiny.
I will say this, and I don't like to see this. I don't like the Seahawks at all. But man, if F Cell's popping right now too. If I truly believe if Russell Wilson was playing last night, man, I don't know because they were able to get the run game going with what Travis Homer
Alex
and
Collins
yeah,
picked him
Alex
up.
Collins was getting off. The only reason I said Homer is because he hit that one big run. Was that right before the half or something? I was like, damn, he just
Yeah,
looked
he
like
did
he
it a
shot
few
out of a
times.
cannon. But
Hmm.
they got the run game going and they were able to do that, and I don't think so. I don't think Chris Carson not being out there was any sort of a factor. That was like, but dude, Russell Wilson being out there would have been I think that
I think it was game script too. I mean, we were up, a couple 2 scores. So at one point, we're letting the run happen. We're dropping back in coverage and letting them have it. So I feel like the numbers get kind of skewed when it's like that. But definitely in the second half, man, our tackling was suspect. So many plays they'd just get a nice little screen pass, or we'd be straight in the perfect coverage, and we'd smack them hard too. Guys are getting hit off of us and getting momentum to spin out of it, and it was happening like time and time again. But yeah, I think game script kind of gave Alex Collins a lot of rushing yards based upon where we were as far as being up as much. But yeah, with Russell Wilson, I mean, I think our whole game plan shifts. I definitely think we look really really suspect. Our defense is ridiculously fire, but this tackling that we did yesterday was just out of control.
Michael
Oh
says, "What's
yeah,
up?"
Michael. Yeah, he says what's up. That's what he said. He said what's up. Okay, Michael D. Okay. All right.
Oh man. Hey, so
All right.
anyone who's joining that doesn't know, so for Monday nights, Ghost and I do a show. It's no financial limits NFL, but we do. So first half of the game, hopefully today, or first half of the show, we talk stocks. Hopefully we'll be talking about how great Clove did today, but either way we'll be talking
Yeah.
about, what stocks we're moving today, what our outlook is on other stocks for the month and week, and just the future. And then in the second half of the show, we'll talk football, talk NFL. So come check us out. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, I'm amped. I think today's gonna be I'm looking for a couple things in Clove. I'm not really looking for price action. I just want to see those shares just keep continuing to increase that are available. I'd like to see that, to be honest. I'd like to see that trend. I know it's not really what you're looking for from a squeeze standpoint, but I said this since the jump. I could care less about a squeeze. I wanted to almost have no attention from the squeeze, to be honest with you. I'd rather have solid investors start investing, smart money coming in, institutions putting up a lot of resources towards them because they're making moves, man. A lot of people didn't really talk about that Walgreens, situation as of late. I mean, you saw Walgreens shares go crazy. I think they went up like 7-8% in on Friday once the news broke. And this is huge because Walgreens is just a kind of a testament to what they're doing. You're in underserved communities, and Walgreens are there, and the fact that they're going to have reps there that have Clover gear on and talking to individuals about Medicare Advantage in open enrollment season right now. I think this could be a really good fit, for what Clove's looking for. And I'm excited, man. So I prefer to see these shares available. Just keep increasing.
No, yeah, I'm with you. And the one thing I'll say, in terms of like, because what the hell's going on with my computer right now? I feel like that happens every day right at the beginning. Um, so the one thing I'll say about, because I know you said about the squeeze, I don't know. I'm kind of the belief that with all the dark pool volume we've seen, right, and all the short volume and just the manipulation that we've been seeing for so long, I do think that there is high short interest in this stock. It's just short interest that that we're not necessarily. It's like it's being hidden through failure to delivers. It's being hidden through other stuff, and that's why. You know what I'm saying? So even like with these shares becoming available and everything else, I still think there's potential there for all of a sudden, you know, if we get like some huge momentum in the stock, I think we're going to see an explosive upward move because I think there is short interest there. I just think it's hidden, and I think that's happening with a lot of the bigger meme stocks where
I agree.
because those are the ones where they're seeing like this crazy. Now, obviously, there's no way of proving that, but if you look at the dark pool volume that's been coming in on it, like shit, sometimes 60% short volume and then 50% volume in the dark pool, and I mean that that shit isn't sustainable. They can't do that. You know what I mean? For forever. So if all of a sudden the stock starts moving up, I think we might see some explosive movement. But that's more of a, and I agree with you on that part. Like I don't care if it, squeeze or not. I'm in this for the long haul for the type of play it is. But I just happen to think that we might get it, and if we do, that'd be awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Um,
that's definitely where I'm at too. I mean, I don't think it's out of the question. I really don't. And I think that when you think a squeeze is coming, it almost doesn't come. I feel like when you start going, all right, no squeezes in play, let's just keep it pushing, then the squeeze comes. So they definitely have a funny way of doing it. They definitely have dude, it's going nuts. FCell's going nuts, and I jumped in on it.
Nice. Yeah, I see F cell popping right now. Just jumped up. BBIG had a nice little couple wicks too. It's popping up to 840. PROG as well. Shit, I'm just looking around at some of these other ones. Even ATER just popped a little bit. Not much. I mean, shit, it's only up a half a percentage on the day, but SDC, some of these are there. It look like they're all getting some nice big candles right now.
Yeah, this is running. Okay, yeah, but man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I can care less about the squeeze. I've said it since the jump. I know a lot of people want to see a squeeze, and look, if the squeeze happens, it happens. But man, there's been so many fundamental things that have came across, and so many things that Clover has actually done recently that has made me feel so confident in what the accomplishments have been. Like, man, think about it. Since like what, April, they've doubled their counties, not once but twice. Partnerships with Walgreens was huge, massive.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more, man. It's I think you got to evaluate it as two different companies. I was talking about this earlier, but Clove as a health insurance company, they're doing all the right things to move forward, growing, to become profitable. And then if you put that to the side and then you look at the tech side, I think that's going to be the really interesting part with the patents and the, you know, the they made it so that it could be why I can't think right now. The integration into all the different cloud services and just all the
Correct.
different stuff that's going on that side. And then I don't remember the exact number, but I think they said something like 1 billion. Was it $1 billion that they said Clover Assistant was supposed to be managing over
Yes, the course of it
throughout.
last
That
year.
was their projections last time. So I mean, I can't wait even just to see what the guidance looks like moving forward.
I think that's
Um,
huge. Guidance is huge, but I swear I've been saying this from the rooftops, man. May. I keep saying Mayday because come May, that's their day. Come May, when they could report the first quarter earnings of 2022, which would actually have open enrollment along with the higher upgrade in stars now, we can officially say. I think that's when we're going to start to see what this company's all about. And I'm looking for that year over year to, from revenue standpoint, to be wild all over again. Because I think that if MCR is reduced and their revenue is ridiculous, and they're, projecting like a $3 billion year in 2022, something crazy, maybe even more than that. Um, I could see this stock getting a nice boost, but also most importantly, without it being so volatile. Like there'll be a new floor eventually. And I think every quarter I feel like you kind of get your new floor in a sense. You know what I mean? Based upon production, based upon revenue, based upon MCR. You can get a new floor going. And I think come May, we might be, able to be above that $5 billion market cap, maybe that 15 to 18, maybe even $22 range. That's like our floor with some nice, pops and boosts in between time from, time to time. But yeah, man, I'm excited for tonight, man. 4 o'clock Pacific Standard. That's an hour and 15 minutes prior to the Monday Night Football countdown. Uh, it's fun, man. If you guys haven't been in there, I know a lot of the names are familiar, but I do see a lot of people in our AM streams that aren't necessarily available for the PM stream. So if you can make it out tonight, man, make it out tonight. We'll talk about some runners of the day. We'll talk about a lot of digital currency that's been booming recently. We'll talk about obviously sports and football in particular. But just have a good time with us. Come tailgate, have a good time with us. I did get confirmation on a couple things that are coming up. Coach, we got week 16. I definitely got a guest coming week 16. This person was able to have some interceptions on Kaepernick back in the day as well. So, he's got some cool football stories that he'll be able to share with us inside the huddle, what he did after football, how he's making his money. And I think it'll be fun, man, to kind of just progressively see this show that we do. Have some big hitters come in there and share some inside stories with us because it's no financial limits for a reason. I truthfully believe that there are no limits to the financial side of things. So if you can hear from the minds of people that had the persistence and work ethic to make it to a professional level like the football, outside of that, they had to do the same thing. There's that same perseverance, that same grind, that same tenacity, that same eager to, that desire to succeed is something that's embedded in these people. And so when you get to hear it firsthand, some of the things that they did with their resources, some of the mistakes they made when they first got into the league, these are things that could potentially help us, make those moves moving forward. And I think that I've learned a lot from some of my friends that have been in the league, and I've learned a lot from people that I've actually been fortunate enough to meet that I didn't know that played in the NFL that have just brilliant minds, man. I won't say this person's name, man, but this one was the one that, not the one coming on week 16, but one that'll come in between now and then. This person was a wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I never knew the person at all. I just happened to watch every single catch of this man's career. And in a business partnership, I ended up basically picking up the phone one day, and I got this guy that's like, hey, asking me a lot of questions about my industry. And he says, hey, can I throw my partner on the phone? And I'm like, yeah, for sure. And the partner that jumped on the phone happened to be a wide receiver for the Steelers. And for me, I'm a diehard Steelers fan. I think that's evident. But learning from this man, we FaceTime each other through quarantine. We became the closest of friends. We talked damn near. He was the first person to call me on my birthday this year, and I've known him to do for like 2.5 years. Not even a year and a half. And this is just the mind that this guy has, and I've learned so much from him. And the mistakes he's made and the moves he made while he was in the NFL, working with what he was getting, dude's brilliant, brilliant. And I just think it's something special. And I feel like, man, I want to share to the world, bro, some of these little things that you can gain, because I've learned a lot from this person, and we feed off of that. Me and him are the type of individuals that when you get like a story told to you, like, hey man, I just closed on a new project. I'm building a new, lot and 1 acre of land in Arizona, and I'm about to put a house on it. And you start to hear this, and it's motivational, because it's like, man, I want to do that. There's no hate in my heart, no envy in my heart. When I hear these things, coach, I'm like, I want that. Yeah. It gives me that extra drive, that extra fire. And man, just a lot of moves me and him have made because of it. So I'm excited to
That's
kind of share that with people.
yeah. That's and then you said week 16 is right now.
So
That's
week
what.
16, yeah, week 16 is going to be actually a friend of mine that I went to school with.
Okay.
Um, it's a different person, but I got three lined up so far. I got
Nice.
three
Hey,
lined up so far.
so real quick, Dan pointed out DraftKings was jumping. I know I told you I re-entered into my DraftKings play on Friday, and then I talked about it a little bit earlier. But it looks like this morning DraftKings reported a strategic blockchain deal with Polygon. And so while you were talking, I looked up Polygon technology, and it's an Ethereum Internet of Blockchains. Protocol and framework for building and connecting Ethereum compatible blockchain networks. So, yeah, DraftKings got some news just a little while ago, and it looks like it's starting to pop a little bit.
I couldn't
Um,
be more excited, because first of all, me and Ethereum. That's my roll dog. So they're getting into the blockchain agreement.
yeah, I don't know if that's going to be just for. I mean, DraftKings is already doing NFTs and stuff, right? So, I mean, that's one thing that we already knew about. Um, We are
So it's going to
bullish on the
support custom
possibilities that
NFTs.
blockchain, NFTs, cryptocurrency, and more will present as we prepare for Web 3.0 alongside Polygon and the new innovations ahead for digital collectibles. Okay. So, yeah. So, shit, I'm glad I got in when I did.
That's great
I
timing. That's
entered
great
I
timing.
entered right back in on DraftKings on Friday. So, that was cool. Uh
DraftKings is still my third largest position. Clove,
and
Tesla, then DraftKings, man.
I'm running out of room up here on the screen, so I put I mean, I guess I'll move. I kept DraftKings up just so that we could see it, but BBIG started popping again. PROG is continuing to move. F cells moving, running right now.
I've been in
Um,
FSA all morning. I haven't even dropped it once. I'm just holding it still because it's still trending above the 920 and 50. It hasn't even really gave much resistance towards the 9 EMA.
and then the last
Until it
one, because
does, I'm
I
keep
actually
on.
got to sign off here and go help the kids get ready. But BKKT, that's VIH.
Is it?
So
They got their ticker change?
yeah, the ticker change came through today. They opened at $10.10, and it fell all the way to 9.18 in pre-market. And I never got rid of my shares or my calls. I know I talked about doing it on Friday, and I never did it. And so I'm still in this play. It's creeping right back up to 9.92 right now. It's starting to run, and we looked at the Ortex data, and I'm just using VIH right now as a because they haven't Ortex hasn't updated the BKKT yet. Um, but as I look here, we looked at it earlier, and I mean, dude, if this gets a little bit of action today,
Gamble.
um, or tomorrow, whatever, it's got 41% short interest right now, 99% utilization. Cost to borrow isn't there, but it's definitely got some of those variables that you would want in a squeeze. And then options wise, you know, I'm looking right now. Looks like there's not much for open interest, but I don't know if that's, is it because they haven't moved VIH over? That's weird.
Maybe that's exactly what it is. They just switched the ticker. So
Yeah, but you would think that your VIH open interest would carry over, and it hasn't. That's weird. I'm gonna look
I
into
think
that.
that's just the system itself, just being delayed per se. Because I mean, man, I've seen so many when the ticker switches, man. The information has been all over the place, man.
But yeah, man, I could hear my kids in the background, man. I gotta go get them ready because it's almost time for them to take off for school. So
I'll see you tonight,
again,
4 o'clock.
yeah, 4 o'clock tonight. Everyone come join us. Thank you everyone for joining. Tonight, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern. And then check you out again tomorrow morning. Thank you, Ghost. I'll see you later. See
All
everybody
right,
else
coach.
tonight.